Okay, why isn't there it is. And now we'll start recording. All right, good. We are live. Christine Howard, it's such a delight to get to connect with you again. It seemed like it's been a long time since we've just sat down and talked. So, what a celebration!
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's here. I'm super
yeah.
excited.
So, what prompted you to say yes to participating in this magnificent book, Amazing Woman Rise?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I have to say Marsh. And
Yeah,
she is a woman that has the biggest heart and is really holding that space for other women to ignite their heart, their potential, their purpose. And when I learned about the project, it's everything about it resonated because I felt too it was a way for me to step in even more to using my beautiful feminine heart to bring my message into the world.
absolutely. And I just smile because we worked together on your book, Radiant Achievement, and it's
Yes, we
actually
did.
on the shelf behind me. I don't think you can anybody can see it. I've got to go like this with my head.
Yeah.
and
Yes, we did.
and you're the embodiment of stepping into igniting the power of the feminine heart. And I'm just so delighted to know you and to see the work that you're doing in the world. So in this process, what would you say to a woman who was just kind of waking up to this life isn't working quite the way I want it to, and there's got to be something more?
Yeah, yeah. There is more. You're on the right path, I would say. That starting with that inquiry, which is exactly where I was, is we can use these little things that are stirring to us, and that I'll say there's a whole new life that's possible for you when you say yes to igniting and honoring your feminine heart. Because and I saw this for myself. Our feminine heart really holds those seeds of our the gifts and the talents we have, our purpose, our potential, our desires. Like it's our power center as
Our
women.
passion.
It
Yeah,
is our passion, and so it's all there in our heart. So those inquiries, bring it back to connecting with your heart, because you're on the right track.
it's so beautiful. And you know what's fascinating because I've been interviewing all day for this beautiful book. We all have a story, that we all have a journey that took us to where we are today. And and it's listening to that journey, it's paying attention. But the more of us that do this, the more of us, more of a ripple effect that it has on our world. And I think of our young people that are coming, the young women coming up in the world behind us, and who are just taking their places in the world, figuring themselves out. And if they can do it so much sooner than we did.
Yeah, I have one of those young women, and it's been a blessing to see her stepping into that so much sooner than I did.
Yeah, it is so amazing
Uh,
to be able to see that journey, but it's because we lead by example and we let us shine. And I know your daughter had to watch you go through the hard times too, you know.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally, yeah.
And so um the why. What is your why?
Oof. I think my why has changed over the years, but if you in asking me right now in this moment, my why is for me. And it is for my ultimate, I don't want to say my ultimate fulfillment, but is for me to be true to me. And what that feels like for me when I am doing that, it is then me expressing my purpose and helping each other and people and serving and changing the world and bringing joy to the world. So my why has really, yeah, really just anchored into myself that it has to start with me first for me to experience and express. all these seeds and this potential that I was gifted with in this lifetime.
Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it's fun to see, as you step into that, and it certainly beats the alternative of living where we used to live and how we used to live and how we used to react in the world to today and the beauty of what we have at this moment in time. And so the next question is the how. So you have your
Right.
why. So how do we do this?
Yeah, there's so many ways, and I will say the way that I do it is what I really did is reorient my life. I made a 180-degree turn where I shifted from this external focus, which is something I was taught. It was that make a plan, have, be strategic, think your way through things, and that ultimately wasn't working for me the way I was living it. And so the how was I reoriented and I went completely the other direction, and which was going inward. And that inward journey was beginning to first and foremost take back my self-worth. And then I started listening to my heart versus thinking about everything. I just really sat in stillness a lot in my early pivot of just being present and listening for what was coming up in me, because I had been, like so many people, on that treadmill, really
Mhm.
going through the motions of life. And what are you doing? You're just doing the same thing over and over again. And I knew if I sensed something more was available and more potential to experience and express, it had to come. It wasn't coming from the doing, it had to come from somewhere else. So that listening was truly another big shift that I made, and started to get curious again. Like the creativity, the wonder really started to bubble up in me and became a really powerful tool of that I started to use on a daily basis. And in doing those first few things, then I started getting sparks of inspiration. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, well, maybe this, or I have a stirring to do that. And and all of those things that were bubbling up, the big shift is I started following them. I started saying yes to that one inspired thing that was coming to me next. And truly I let go of having it all figured out. And at this point, do I create plans and actions and things? Yes. And that's in service to the inspiration that is
Mhm.
first and foremost coming through me. And that was how I really started to tap into my feminine heart and honor it and live from that place.
Beautiful. And at some point, I'm sure there was the questioning of yourself, is that for real? And do I trust this?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
for many of us, it's very unfamiliar when we first getting those little trickles of taking the time to be quiet, and then getting the downloads, as some people will call it, the messages, and you're like, for real, or is it just something I
Oh yeah.
really just want for myself?
There was a
Am
lot
I
of
a
that, Becky,
doer?
for sure. And again, it's like what I learned is it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey because what are we doing? We are when we've been on this deeply grooved path for so many years, conditioning from family, friends, culture, schooling, all these things, these experiences we've had that we've repeated and strengthened these beliefs, many of them limiting, in our lives. When we start to take that other path, and absolutely this happened for me, the ego's going to rise up, the stories are going to come up, and who are you to think you can do this? And I was raised in this very conservative, beautiful, safe environment, and at the same time, with out of respect, it was a very small world view. And I kept bumping into that as I looked bigger and felt bigger. I kept bumping into that. So part of the journey for everyone, for that woman watching and listening, is it, and it's the beautiful part of the journey. You get to face those things and slowly begin to. Sometimes you can let them go like that, and other times It's only through getting back up again and getting back up again that you finally can let go of some of that. You can let go of the conditioning, and it's totally possible.
Yes, it
So
is.
it's a lifelong journey. It's truly a
It
lifelong
truly
journey.
is, because there's always the little things that trigger, the little things that can set you back a little bit and maybe slow you down a little bit. It's what you do with it. It's what you choose to do and keep moving forward. Accept it. Well, okay, I learned from this.
Yes.
I have really, yes, I've had reason to pause, but oh my goodness, I look at the next step I'm going to take.
Yes, and you bring up a great point, Becky, because this other shift that I made is it's about the journey, not the destination. The
Mm,
destination is great and it's a place to celebrate, but we can celebrate and have joy all along the way because we are acknowledging ourselves for the shifts we made, for the little thing we did do different this time, the time we did say yes to that little stirring or calling. So it's again part of that reorientation that we make when we start to listen to the feminine heart. It is not just the prize at the end. The prize is every step of the way by you honoring where you're at in every given moment.
so beautiful. So in your journey, I know you've written your book and your life, you're coaching other women in this journey. What's next for you?
Ooh. Well, one big thing that was new last year and it's continuing this year is that again, I'm realizing more and more about myself, and I'm bringing this into my work is I started leading women's retreats last year. And it was a phenomenal experience for me personally and professionally. I have a great co-collaborator on it, and we are actually we booked a venue for the end of August in Spain, and which is like a big thing, right? Big thing. And so for me, again, it's this continuing to step up and out in those bigger platforms, those more visible, more transformational ways, because I know I'm here and I'm owning it to help with people, men and women, truly catalyze their life and to make that reorientation themselves. Is
Mm,
probably the easiest way to say that. So I'm continuing to be open for opportunities, whether it's through speaking. I'm going to relaunch my show this year that I
awesome.
did here and put on hold. Getting back out and really stepping into platforms that are where I can reach even more people to help catalyze those that are ready to make that pivot, that are feeling that stirring and are ready to do something about it.
How beautiful. So and congratulations, because I've got to be part of your journey.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have been.
And the day will
It's
come I
been
will
great
be
to have you.
attending, yeah, be attending your retreats. So in closing, what is one empowering quote, one empowering thought, idea that you would like for at least one woman to hear from this
Yeah,
interview?
I wrote something down, so I'm going to look at it just to make sure I don't miss it. So, dear radiant lady, you hold the key to live the life that you've always dreamed of. And that the key that unlocks that is your feminine heart. And it's no one will give you permission. It is truly you getting to say yes to you and use that key and unlock your feminine heart for your most joyful and fulfilling journey of life.
Wow. Beautiful and powerful. Thank you. Thank you. That is just gorgeous. So, for anybody listening, this book is available, and these little links across the bottom will take you to go to it, really take you to the purchase of this beautiful book. I think the cover is stunning, and it really just, it's striking, but the words within it ignite the infinite power of the feminine heart, and lean into your biggest dreams, amplify your true worth, unleash an unbridled spiritual confidence. And so, with that, I want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for how you lead in the world. And thank you for showing up in the way that you do, because you shine your light greatly and brightly.
Thank you, Becky. Grateful to be
Awesome.
here for you and all the amazing women.
Yes, yes. It's been a delightful day of really a lot of fun interviews. I have one more with Marsh to close up the day.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
yes, and so it's been a fun, enlightening, incredible day. I'm making all kinds of little notes of cool
I
things that the
love it.
ladies are saying. So it's wonderful. Thank you. It's
You're
wonderful to
welcome,
connect
dear.
again. All right.
I agree. Okay, bye for
All right.
now.
Bye-bye.